quick for her. And Royal Pearl, I think she'll race more forward today, and she's got a place chance.
Well, I wonder what the punters are thinking out the back. Andrew Voss will go to shortly, but Tim Sheridan, I think we've got things right now, and here he is with Bede Murray.
Yes, Bede, we've got some sound now, and thanks for sticking with us. Victory Vane reportedly in great shape.
Yes, Tim, she's done very well. I think she's improved each one, this preparation. I think today she looks the best she's looked in her 3 runs, and hopefully she'll go on and make it to 4th straight.
Bede, assuming all goes to plan, which it often doesn't in racing, but what are you going to do with this horse? Maybe a Cox Plate?
Yes, if she wins today, she'll go to Melbourne Tuesday night, and then 10 days' time she'll run in the 1,000 guineas down there, and I prefer to run her in the Cox Plate with 46 kilos rather than run her 5 days before the Oaks with 58 on her back. So she will go to the Cox Plate if all goes well.
Talk to us for a moment about the Spring Champion Stakes. You've got recruiting there. They're at the turn last week in the Dulcify, but couldn't go on with it.
No, well, he couldn't go on, and he was put into a role of leader where we didn't want to be. And he had 59 kilos. He was given the 4 place getters last week 6 kilos over the 2,000 metres, and that was quite an ask. Coming back to the level weights this week, you know, he's hard fit, and 1 barrier, he's going to have the run of the race, and I think he'll be right there in the finish.
Can he handle the company?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
OK, a Universal Prince in the Epsom, hasn't had a run for a month. But reportedly, again, a horse in marvellous fettle.
Yeah, he's in great shape. He's done very well. He worked beautiful at Kembla on Tuesday between races. And, you know, second up form for him, outstanding. He won the Canterbury Guineas second up over 1900. And, you know, he's been timed for today's race. And while, you know, he's got some very good horses to contend with, but he'll run very well.
So much depends on the pace, doesn't it? What are you expecting?
It does. Well, most Doncaster Epsoms are run at a very quick clip, and that's what we're hoping for, and that'll suit him. He'll get back a bit. He'll be probably just back a little bit further back than midfield, and hopefully, and we know how he can reel off the finish of his races.
OK, Bede, thanks, and good luck.
Yeah, pretty confident Bede Murray there with Tim Sheridan. Well, can his filly win the Flight Stakes? I wonder what the punters are saying out the back. Here's Vossi to tell us.
Well, actually, Simon, as you cross, I think some of Kenny Callender's money has hit the ring because Private Steer is firmed in betting, but Victory Vane is the hot favourite. And really, in the field of 6, they're the only 2 the punters have shown any interest for. There's been no specking for any of the other 4 runners. Victory Vane, a firm favourite. As I say, just over the last 60 seconds, couple of minutes, there has been money for Private Steer. It's the first of the Group 1 races this afternoon on our Wide Water Sports coverage. Right now, we'll take a break. The fillies in action after the break in the Flight Stakes.
And down the outside, Superimposed, followed by Prince Deleri, halfway down the running. Lexalope takes the lead in the Cox Plate. Superimposed flying home. Lexalope, Superimposed, Lexalope, they hit Superimposed.
Merlene's got to the front 100 metres out. She's racing away, the little Danehill filly, and Merlene is going to score a magnificent win in the Slipper. 4 for the Freedmans.
These are the good old days for Gregory Hall. He's over there behind the barriers for the Flight Stakes at the 1,600 metre mark. Greg, we've just seen you on Super in 92, Merlene 96. You can ride.
I tell you what, they were different rides, weren't they?
No, you knocked them down in both races.
Well, you knocked them down in both races and you cut both horses in half.
Well, what do you think happened in the Cox Plate? I'll get away with that one, do? That's one they let me side with. Yes. So it's a little bit of comparison, 2 months and 50,000. But anyway, we'll get onto these fillies.
Right, how do the fillies look?
The fillies are first Group 1 of Group 3 races on this magic day, and the favourite. I've never seen it before, obviously, guys, and $1.30. Well, good luck. But anyway, obviously she's outstanding, but they tell me she always looks like that. And Pure Steel, the other favourite, just come around good. But the Toppy's a little bit toey and got quite a bit of sweat on that. But the fillies, they behave as well as they can. But we won't go there, guys.
Greg, just while you're talking about those, Ronnie, Kenny, you've seen a lot of Victory Vane. Does she usually sweat up and get a bit toey prior to a race?
She's no different today than she's been other times.
Yeah, that's just her. That's just her. She gets a little bit excited there. It's a pretty warm day out here, but that's just her. I don't know whether he usually dismounts at the barrier, though.
No, I was trying to recollect. think he may have once, but the thing is, as we said at the start of the show, she doesn't win a beauty contest, but or a blue ribbon at the show, but by golly, she's got the right motor, and that's what counts.
This could be a battle of tactics here. It'll be interesting. Sierra Dane, blinkers on today, may go forward from barrier 1, and whether Danny wants to race outside the lead or Grant Buckley makes him work with Private Steer. It'll be an interesting little race.
Okay, and for this battle of tactics, courtesy of Sky Channel, here's Terry Bailey.
Thank you, Kenny. Private Steer's been well tried to beat the fave. Victory Vane, the Super filly, out for the Princess Series. They're set to jump. Started just holding them. Gates fly back and they're racing. Private Steer on the back foot at the start, went out to last. Royal Pearler away quickly. Going fast, Victory Vane and Sierra Dane on the inside, booting through. It's a muddling tempo early. Private Steer's moved up swiftly to go to 4th. 2 lengths, Miss Bowie, Sunday Joy outside of it. Royal Pearler, no pressure on, leads the way by 3/4 on Victory Vane. A length away, Sierra Dane, and she's fired up on the rail. A half-length Private Steer, 1.5 to Miss Bowie. Sunday Joy last as they amble down the side, heading up to the 1,000. And Royal Pearler for Patrick Payne by a length and 1/4 on Victory Vane, relaxing okay. 1 away, Sierra Dane. Private Steer, Buckley right behind Beasley. He's tracking up on Private Steer, 2 lengths to Miss Bowie. And Sunday Joy is still last as they swing down the side. Royal Pearler coming to the 800. Lead 3/4 on Victory Vane. The Super filly's got a head on her chest. She's doing it easily at the moment. A length and 1/2 away, Sierra Dane from Private Steer. A margin of 2 lengths to Miss Bowie, and outside of it, Sunday Joy. Business End about to come up, 600 to run. And it's Royal Pearler by a length and 1/2. Victory Vane travels comfortably. Private Steers 2 lengths behind the Victory. They were followed by Sierra Dane, Sunday Joy, and then last of all is Miss Bowie. Royal Pearler wheels for home first. Leads by a length and 1/2 on Victory Vane. Private Steer being clicked up to come after them. Sunday Joy to the outside. Then Sierra Dane and Miss Bowie. Oh, he's riding cheekily on Victory Vane. He's had 1, he's had 2 peeps over the shoulder. Down to the 200, he lets her go. She's just in front of Royal Pearler. Private Steer coming. Victory Vane in front. Royal Pearler's giving her a fight. She's coming back. Victory Vane in front. Royal Pearler's kicking. Royal Pearler off the canvas. Got the money. Royal Pearler has beaten Victory Vane and Private Steer. They were followed by Miss Bowie, Sunday Joy and Sierra Dane last of all.
Yeah, there's the huge upset, and I think Danny Beasley erred there in not putting more speed on in that race, and I think that's something he will regret now. 3, 1 and 4. Royal Pearler, 19.50 I should say, and $4.90. Victory Vane, $1.10. Private Steer, no third dividend. A big upset in the Group 1 Flight Stakes, and a Group 1 win for Greg Hickman with his filly Royal Pearler. Now that's Royal Pearler on the inside. Victory Vane heads her, but he poses a lot, Beezy. He looks over his shoulder. Hey, son, there was nothing there. Worry about your own filly. And when he did, the one on the rails has kicked back, and down the outside, Private Steer wasn't good enough. She had her chance and couldn't pick up the first 2. That's Miss Bowie 4th, Sunday Joy 5th, and running last is Sierra Dane. Ronnie, too good.
Yeah, she jog-trotted up front and just too tough. Change of tactics today. She got far too way back last start.
That's the winner on the rails, Royal Pearler. Victory Vane now is Beasley looking. Son, don't be looking behind you. Look at the one in front of you. That's your problem. And when he does, he didn't have enough there to head her off. And Royal Pearler found plenty. Look at her here go now. Beautifully ridden Royal Pearler. Patrick Payne, master horseman, just kept getting that bit extra out of her. Group 1 jockeys win Group 1 races.
Interesting to see Patrick Payne there started using the whip on the winner and then put it away and just went hands and heels.
That's right.
May have been a reaction there that actually bluffed Danny Beasley on the outside.
Well, Danny was looking outside him. He thought he had the leader covered. 200,000 difference because Victory Vane was going for a $200,000 bonus there, but...
That's Royal Pearler on the rail. Victory Vane outsider in the black cap. Miss Bowie's the filly in the white, and the whitest runner is Private Steer, who gets third money. Well, great ride by Patrick Payne on Royal Pearler. He's an absolutely super horseman. We know that all over Australia, and he's now with one of his old comrades, Mr. Gregory Hall.
And it's lovely to see Paddy win, the Melbourne boy, win the Group 1. He's terrific. He's no better jockey. Paddy, you rode her in front, had an easy run.
Yeah, she jumped so well. I was only going to waste her by holding her up, and she had a quite nice run in front. She's such a big striding filly. I thought it was nice just to let her able along, and it worked in her favour.
And the favourite loomed up to you. Did you have any worries, or did you feel like you got beautiful hands, Paddy, so you can answer to everyone with that?
Well, I was definitely worried. Like, he strode up to me at the 200-metre mark and was going to put pay to me, but his horse just didn't go on with it, and this little mare, to her credit, she fought on doggedly.
Well, you're an absolute star, Paddy, and there's no better Group 1 rider than yourself. Now, what about later in the day? Where do they look?
Hey, Greg, you can be my PR man.
Don't worry about that. You know I always love you, son.
I got Carnegie and Masquerada, so I hope you've got a nice day ahead of me.
Here's Paddy Payne, everyone. Back to you, boys, and great jockey.
There certainly is Paddy Payne, and he'll be very happy making the trip up here and taking the Group 1 flight stakes. It was just a filly that had plenty of fight, Ken.
Yeah, she is, and like Greg Hickman, her trainer, he deserves special mention. He was foreman for Johnny Hawkes for a while, or one of the foremen, I should say. He's got Sportsman, who's a top horse. He's got Royal Perla, and here's Tim Sheridan in the enclosure with connections.
Well, Greg Hickman, congratulations. Group 1 victory. Well, Danny Beasley probably thought he had your horse.
Yeah, I think Danny was pretty confident, but Royal Perla's dug deep, and she's come up trumps.
Quality finish.
Yeah, it was. It was a great finish, and Victory Vane's done an enormous job, but so is this little filly.
And what about the filly's future?
Oh, geez, I think I might have to go home and think about it.
You've got Sportsman in the Spring Champion later on. Can you make it a big double?
Oh, look, we've been trying very, very hard, and he's done very well through the week, and yeah, I think he can.
Very good, congratulations. Go and enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
Yep, certainly will enjoy it.
His horses don't cost much money. I think Sportsman from memory cost $8,000. He's only got a few in the stable, but he obviously knows how to put the polish on them.
Yes, and well, he's been putting in all the hard work, and today it has paid off with Royal Perla and Patrick Payne on board as they come back, the winners of the flight stakes for the 3-year-old fillies, as we take a break from Royal Randwick on the wide world of sports.
9:30 Monday. They've endured the worst conditions possible. Now, in a desperate offensive, Easy Company must rely on a less than competent leader.
I gotta tell you, sir, I think he's gonna get a lot of Easy Company men killed.
In a battle where the stakes are so high and the pressure so intense.
Do not ever talk when I'm talking, you got that?
He will cost them their lives.
Get out of there! No! What's the plan? I don't know!
Band of Brothers, 9:30 Monday on 9.
Hello, Harry.
Detective Sims.
Word's out there's some brand new motors on your manor.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. About 500 of them. Bit of your luxury, bit of performance.
We ain't seen this stuff before, have we, boys?
No, Harry. Really?
It's me memory, Mr. Sims.
How much?
You, Gov. $15.
They must be hot.
Dim, Sims.
Sydney Motor Show. See stuff you ain't never seen before.
I'm so scared. Almost everyone. Harry! Harry!
Be warned. KFC's Extra Crunch Chicken is so deliciously crunchy. It's scary.
Stop the jingle. This is a Doors Plus news flash. All our showrooms throughout Australia are having a huge spring clean-out. Save up to 50%. For a free measure and quote, visit your Doors Plus showroom today and clean up. Doors Plus, no fuss.
When you suffer from hay fever, the most everyday things can be a real menace. Thankfully, a little Rhino makes a big difference. Rhino Court Hay Fever. Just spray each day to keep hay fever away.
You don't have to let your phone company tell you the best time to call around Australia is after 7 p.m. With Optus, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you get our best rates. For example, call from your home phone across Australia and the most you'll pay is $2 for 1 hour. If you're calling closer to home, local calls start from just 15 cents. To take the restrictions off your home phone, call 1-800-500-999.
Next time you're thinking of having potatoes, why not try rice instead? You don't have to wash it. You don't have to peel it. You don't have to mash it. You don't have to add anything. In fact, all you have to do is eat it. Rice, the convenient alternative from Sunrise.
Welcome to Apprentice School. This morning we've got another apprentice in our midst. Andrew, I want you to make him welcome.
No, yeah, thanks guys. Beauty. Thank you.
Today we're going to talk about the use of the whip. I want you to think about the whip. I just want you to think about the whip. Think about the whip as hard as you can. Andrew.
Come on.
Don't do anything silly.
Woo! Yeah, nothing silly. I got this under control. What does it mean?
Sorry, Andrew. I don't think you're ever going to make a jockey.
Oh.
Sorry, mate.
It's bad. Thanks for trying, mate.
Good luck, mate.
See you later then.
Bye.
Dad, Mum, you were right. I wasn't cut out to be a jockey.
No, son, but you've learned some valuable lessons today.
I sure have.
And anyway, there's plenty of other jobs you can do at the races.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe there is.
Outside they go. They're passing the 1,600-metre mark, and in front is payback time. Then back to Seaview. Oh, have a look at the one in the purple. Oh, Tappy, for Pete's sake, can you keep it down? I'm trying
Well, what a contribution you've made to racing on the 9 network.
That's probably why Channel 9 has been at the forefront of drama in this country, is stories like that one. That was Spielberg before Spielberg, that mini movie there, I Want to Be a Jockey.
The comedy department coming back at the wide world of sports. We haven't seen it for a while, but it is coming back, and it'll be headed by Andrew Voss. Quickly, before we start talking a little bit of rugby league, the big grand final on tomorrow, let's take a look at the totes from the flight stakes. Royal Perla, 1950 and 490. Plenty of people with plenty in their pocket if they backed it. Victory Vane, the hot pot, got beat. $1.10, no third dividend for Private Steer number 4. Now, the Auckland Warriors take on the Sydney Roosters tomorrow, boys. I'm from Melbourne, but I watched it last weekend. I was thoroughly taken by the Auckland Warriors. Phil Gould joins us, head of coaching at the Roosters. You don't want Auckland to throw it around much tomorrow, do you,
Well,
Phil?
yeah, first of all, you've just given yourself up. You are from Melbourne. They're the New Zealand Warriors. They've been the New Zealand Warriors for the last 2 years.
Have they?
They went broke.
But where do they play out of? Where do they play out of?
They play out of Auckland.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
But it's one of the great success stories in sport, Gus. I just don't think we should limit it to rugby league. I mean, 2 years ago, this club flatlined. It was about to be given the last rights, and yet here we are, 24 hours out from a grand final. They've made the grand final. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, rescued by a private sector person in Eric Watson, who's come in, a very wealthy man, successful in all forms of business. Has got a lot of interest in the racing industry, and he's made a great success of it. He's got some good people in there, a great coach, and some super players. And they've had a stellar season. Minor premiers. A lot of people thought coming to the finals that perhaps they'd run their race, but they stepped up to the challenge. They beat the Canberra Raiders, and last week a big win over the Sharks, despite the fact the Sharks were raging hot favourites.
Well, Simon, this is the match you said you watched it, and this was at Telstra Stadium too. I mean, if you want a dress rehearsal for a grand final, play a match at the ground you're going to play tomorrow. 45,000 fans there last weekend, and to come through sudden death football, I mean, this is a club that up until this year had played just one finals match, that was last year, and got lapped by 50 points by Parramatta. So there's, it has grown as a club. They have grown into a top 4 side. Now they're a grand final side. And I for one, sit here right now thinking they can win tomorrow. They will win tomorrow, is what I'm saying.
Stuff I've read on them, Phil, unpredictability is probably their major strength. Is that fair to say?
I think it is too, and that's a worry for the Roosters. I mean, the Roosters have got the best defensive record in the competition, but against very structured teams that come at you in the normal way. Now, the Warriors have got so many players who can do something off the cuff, a lot of ad-lib football, some good speed, and giant forwards who can all hand the ball in one hand and get away passes at any time. So the unpredictability of them is something the Roosters have got to come to terms with.
All right, Gus, well, you're playing the diplomat. Let's have a look at the Roosters last weekend. Their win over the Brisbane Broncos. Now, again, you're talking sudden death football this time of year, and the fans just lap it up, and the Roosters came through. I mean, this was a thriller. I have no allegiance with either club, yet I found myself sitting on the edge of my seat. I was nervous for the last 30 minutes. It was such a tense second half, and just one bad pass led to a Roosters try for Brett Mullins, and that proved to be the fatal blow as far as Brisbane were concerned, and enough to get the Roosters through to the grand final. All week, the talk has been about one player in particular at the Roosters, Simon. That's Luke Ricketson, the lock forward, who did his hamstring in this match last week. Gus, you were with the side this morning. What's the latest news on Luke?
They had their final training session. Luke came through his fitness test okay. I mean, he didn't set the world on fire, but they're going to wait until see how he pulls up tomorrow morning. Sometimes when you actually push yourself that little bit more, you'll wake up tomorrow and be a bit sore. I personally will be surprised if he plays. He's done everything possible to get there. If he doesn't, it's a loss to the Roosters. But, you know, we'll bring in another player to fill the
No
role.
disrespect to your physical capabilities, Gus, but I think the best athlete at this table right now is Simon O'Donnell. If you did your hamstring 5 days ago, would you be able to back up the next week and play 80 minutes of football?
Mate, with my pace, definitely. I would never have done a hamstring in the first place. But
silly
look,
question.
look, a difficult thing. And going into finals football, it doesn't matter whether it's AFL, rugby, union, whatever it might be. Difficult thing, but I would think the choice will come down. You don't want injured players going out in tough matches.
I think the decision will come down to Luke himself. He'll get up tomorrow morning. I mean, he's played 220 first-grade games. He knows the drill. He's been in finals football before. I don't think he'll play unless he can give 100%.
Can you compare Brad Fittler to Wally Lewis if they win the flag tomorrow, the Roosters?
Oh, of course you can. I think you can compare Brad Fittler to Wally. Is he as good? Well, I suppose Wally at his supreme best, I think, is the best player I've ever seen. But Brad Fittler has played, well, 12, 13 seasons of first-grade football, and here he is, a key man for his team tomorrow. I think that's a sign of greatness.
I think in Brad Fittler, in comparison to Wally Lewis, Brad Fittler's nearing up around 400 first-class games. I mean, he's a fellow who's played at the top level for 13 or 14 seasons. He's now 30 years of age, and he's as strong and as fit as he's ever been in his career, as mentally tough as probably at any stage, and I'm expecting a big game from him tomorrow. It'd be lovely to see him carry that trophy.
To finish, Gus, here's the betting, because we're all very interested. 6.5 starters, what the Sports Tab people have given the Warriors. I'll be taking a piece of that, $1.75, and head-to-head. Two's on the Roosters and the Warriors there, $2.40. And, of course, our coverage tomorrow, Channel 9, exclusive coverage from 3 o'clock. We've got the First Division Grand Final, which is the Bulldogs against the Dragons. First against second, and, of course, the main game just after 7 o'clock kick-off, the Warriors and the Roosters.
As long as when we run out of Telstra Stadium tomorrow, they haven't got those 6.5 points up on the board. If we can start from scratch, that'll be handy.
Now, mate, starting from scratch, the Epsom a little later on, you love your racing. What are you liking?
I've been very impressed with Defier. In recent times, and you've got to stick with winning form. I think, despite the weight differential, I think he can still get home.
Bossy.
Universal Prince, Breed Murray, will be interviewed by Shero or myself after the Epsom this afternoon.
After that play-on we saw of Bossy earlier, who cares what he tips? We'll be back with more racing right after this break.
Sullivan is shortening stride, loving cup, and Burst down the outside is rocketing to the line. Burst has swamped Clan O'Sullivan, 4 straight for Shane Dye. Burst got up to beat Clan O'Sullivan, loving cup is third.
Clary, when did you think she could win?
Never. Pharaoh coming down the outside, might tip them all out. Kingston Bay, Pharaoh to Lesto, getting up on the inside of them all. Close to Lesto or Pharaoh. Number 9, Pharaoh, on the outside, has won the Doncaster. Ridden by Gavin Eads. Trained by Gay Waterhouse. Oh, isn't he excited? Have a look at Gavin Eads. He's doing handsprings in the saddle.
Congratulations. Thanks. We thought you were going to do headstands out there. I thought I nearly did. But the hat will never be the same.
But Gavin Eads goes for home on Pharaoh. Look at Auntie Mary. Auntie Mary out of the packers, thundering home too late. Pharaoh makes it 2 Doncasters on the trot.
Lane cleared and they're set to the Amy Golden Slipper. They're racing and Belle de Jour came up in the air. Beasley was nearly catapulted out of the saddle. Away quickly French. Great Crusaders hit the lead at the 200 from King of Danes. They were followed by Assertive Lad. And here's the winner. Crown Glory starting to storm home with Belle de Jour. Belle de Jour's got the run with Crown Glory. Belle de Jour hit the lead. And one of the great wins in the Golden Slipper after bungling the start. She's won it from Crown Glory. What a performance. Third the photo. Can you believe what has just happened?
I can't believe it. It doesn't happen.
You don't win slippers like that, do you?
You can't do it. It's a freak. You can't. It just doesn't happen.
The filly's taken the front. Ha-ha at the 150. Accelerator, Red Hannigan, World Courtship and True Jills try hard. Ha-ha in front. Red Hannigan's emerging late. Accelerator kicks on, but it's Ha-ha Slipper. Ha-ha's won the Golden Slipper, and it's the first lady of racing's first slipper, and she's rewritten the record book from Accelerator. Third place is...
Yeah, the passion of horse racing, feeding, there's nothing like it, is there?
It's lived out at Gay Waterhouse's face every time you see her at a big race meeting. She just loves the races, and it was displayed there.
Well, her personality has been at the forefront of racing for a long time now, and here she is talking to Tim Sherwood.
Well, Gay, we've just been watching some shots of the wonderful moments that you and your father have had here over the years. We feel like we've almost seen you grow up on Channel 9 at the races.
Well, it's very nice to be told that, but yes, we've been here for a few years and enjoying the racing, and wonderful racing today. I mean, you dream about having a horse that's running in these races. I couldn't be happy. I couldn't be happy the way the horses are performing. Okay, now to the Spring Champion Stakes. Platinum Scissors has worked very well of late. He certainly has. He's raced very well also, and I couldn't be happier with the way this colt comes into this race. He'll appreciate the 2,000, and he's certainly the horse to beat. Off a couple of seconds, but both very good runs. Very good runs. He's still maturing, and he should be very hard to beat today. Okay, last up, Jimmy had no choice but to lead. What do you think will happen today? Well, he'll probably have a little bit of cover. Unfortunately, there was no speed, and he was caught wide, and they were going nowhere, and so he elected to go forward. And it was probably a little bit the undoing of the colt, because he got out there and he got a little bit lost in the straight. But he's got that experience under his belt, and he should be very hard to beat. Gay, the Epsom, a 5-horse hand. Can we talk firstly about Accelerator? Very happy with him. He doesn't put a foot wrong in this preparation. He won the Cameron, beating stablemate Hey Pronto. He then went on to run second to Defy, beaten ahead. Hopefully he'll change the bridesmaid's position today and become the bride. Now, but what about the idea of a fair dinkum mile at Randwick? Is this horse tough enough to go it? Ran over 2,000 as a spring 2-year-old. As a spring 3-year-old, I can't see why he can't run the distance, and it's his home track. They're trained on it. Hey Pronto will run a super race. The outsider, Swiss Echo, will run well. I think that you can't throw Phoenix Park away or Kingsgate. Both are quality horses used to racing in this top competition. Gay, thanks, and good luck in the Epsom. Thank you.
Yes, big day for Gay Waterhouse, and will we see that personality flourish this afternoon? We hope so, because it's darn good TV. We'll be back with more racing right after this. Welcome back to Epsom Day here at Royal Randwick, and the Craven Plate over the 2,000 metres at weight for age level, and the horses are now in the mounting yard. Race 5 here at Royal Randwick. Number 1, Kenny, is Freemason.
Yeah, one of the few proven weight for age horses in this weight for age race, and I just thought he went to the line okay last start. He was only 6 to 12 behind Dress Circle, but that was only second run in, and he showed to me that he was getting there. I'll give him a genuine chance here. Number 2, Ronnie, is Mr. Bureaucrat.
Yeah, he's a gross type of horse. He's needed 3 runs to get back to peak fitness. He won the whole